We have been having this study for the past 8 years on shangri, and we have not had any problem with it. So the first place in Africa that shangri was done is Homa Bay here, and we have done a lot of shangri studies, and all what we have done has come out to be good.
One thing that I like about it, it takes the shortest time possible. 2, it is safe. 3, it is easy to use. Maybe 2-3 clients and then you are there.
And then you're comfortable.
You're very comfortable.
What we came to learn that shangri has very few AEs, adverse events, and pain is reduced, and the clients are able to go back to their work within a day.
Some of them go back the next day. And they just continue. Safety is paramount. They have never experienced any problems with it.
Most of our clients, the satisfied clients, are the ones that now bring for us so many clients outside, because they are satisfied with the reduction of pain and even the shape of the penis. Because we do shangri within 4 minutes, it is done. We can do so many at a go. So this one actually makes shangri to be the best option for circumcision in Africa, especially when you want a bigger campaign, because we can do shangri even 100 in a day. We can do in a short time the normal circumcision that we do, which takes a long time, 20-30 minutes, because you have to arrest the bleeding, you have to stitch. That takes a longer period of time. But this one, there is no bleeding, blood loss is minimal, and the environment is very clean. It is easy to use, quicker to use, and during removal it is also easy to remove. It's not like the flip. The flip, when you are removing it, gives a lot of time and a lot of pain. But no flip, so reduced to pain and easy to remove. So long as the trimming is done very well, that the inner ring can be seen. You can clip it with the tweezer, dissecting forceps. Then you can easily remove it.
That's great.
That is a nice one. I think the no flip is the best one.
Dear experts, I'm honored to introduce our project, which is innovation and application of K cotton production technology for high yield and high efficiency in oasis. It was mainly accomplished by Li Wentian, Yongliang Yu, and Lu Fen. In this project, 12 national authorized patents have been obtained, including 11 invention patents and 1 utility model patent. Also, 3 relevant works, 3 SCI papers, 9 software copyrights, and 6 standards have been achieved and published. Technology and equipment of seed production and processing. The meteorological parameters for seed propagation have been put forward to ensure seed maturity. Our study indicated that the accumulated heat unit of 4,100 to 4,350 DD10C and a frost-free period of 195 to 215 days are more conducive to produce mature seeds. With this technology, the problem of poor seed maturity has been solved. The new processing technology of cotton seeds has been innovated and optimized, which has thoroughly solved the problem of cracked seeds removal. Two dipplers have been invented. One is easy to replace the seed metering device, and the other can realize synchronized sowing and pesticide application. Research and development of supporting agronomic technology. The construction technology of suitable seedbed for seedling establishment of cotton. This technology may include ultra-deep ploughing, increasing the input of farm manure, crushing and returning straws to the field, planting salt-resistant plants, excavating ditches in alkali patches, and space-time adjustment and soil moisture optimization. The techniques of space-time adjustment and soil moisture optimization include 3 to 4 days delay of sowing date, 0.5 to 1.3 centimeters reduction of sowing depth, 4 to 5 centimeters inward movement of the border row, and a designated seed index of 9.7 to 11.9 grams. In addition, the techniques of delayed soil covering on the planting row in sowing and dry sowing and wet emergence are also included. The comprehensive control of water, fertilizer, and chemicals. To facilitate cotton mechanical harvest, field configurations of 66 plus 10 centimeters wide and narrow row spacing and 76 equal row spacing were developed. The supporting management techniques of water and fertilizer have also been developed, including drip irrigation under field mulching to save water and top dressing of drip fertilization to improve fertilizer efficiency. Chemical regulation was also applied to optimize population structure and ensure early maturity, high yield, and good quality. Fruit cotton intercropping system is applied to increase the benefits. Technical reliability and application prospect. In the end, I'd like to introduce the technical reliability and application prospect of this project. The experts of the invention team have won 6 major science and technology awards, including National Science and Technology Progress Award, China Patent Award, China Agriculture Science and Technology Progress Award, and Xinjiang Technology Invention Award. 11 scientific presentations related to the invention have been made on 7 domestic conferences and 4 international conferences. The key technology of high yield and high efficiency cotton production in Oasis invented in this project has been unanimously recognized by users and well-known experts in academic circles at home and abroad. The project has achieved a development income of $94 million. The invented techniques have been applied in more than 12 million hectares cotton field in China, leading to an average linked yield of 2,173.5 kilograms per hectare, and the net benefit of $2,652.7 per hectare. Cotton yield and benefit have been increased by 15.6% and 24.8% respectively. The farmer's income has been increased by $6.3 billion. The main techniques in this project can not only be widely used in China, but also in other cotton-growing countries in the world. Here is a brief introduction of the first inventor. Thank you.
精工硬剪纸工艺是将精工手制制作与剪纸工艺等传统技艺有机融合，充分吸收中华优秀传统文化元素，用极细的锯条在金属上裁出这样的图案， 需要制作的时候认真感知锯切和镂空过程中手的力道，做到手稳、心静、走线均匀。很多作品最细的部分都不足0.5毫米，经过描图、打孔、去漏、抛光等步骤，完成这样一幅作品需要用心工作至少40个小时，用匠心打造，用行动诠释精益求精、专注创新的工匠精神。
The stars come and go. It's the light within my reach, not as distant as it seemed. Dreams are moments, night is long, yet we linger in the past. Tell me, do you feel the same? I can take you far, far away, far enough for us to disappear. Should you feel a little scared, know that I'm still right here. It will be a little bittersweet, it might even feel a bit surreal. Just see the stars run past you as you drift apart in the air, like the leaves riding on the autumn breeze, like the days gone too far for us to see. We move on and live it as it is, but once in a while, let the reminiscence brighten this melody. Leaves riding on the autumn breeze, like the days gone too far for us to seize, like the leaves riding on the autumn breeze.
Good morning. My name is Rao from India. I am president of Indian Innovators Association. Thanks to Mazid for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Mazid is a very creative person, very innovative person. And I would like to talk about innovation, student innovations. I'm a mentor to a larger number of student innovators in India, and based on my interaction and learning, I identified several pathways, clues to help students to become better innovators. Let me look at those particular things, talk about these things. The list is very long, it's about 27. I'll try to be brief in my talk on this particular 27. The first is risk. Taking risk is the heart of innovation process. And we all know that very few ideas really go to the market successfully. Then what is the risk? The financial risk is not very significant for the students because ideation, proof of concept is not very expensive. So it's not a financial risk, it is emotional risk. You talk about an idea, you work on it, discuss, explain to a large number of people, and then if it doesn't go through finally, you feel disappointed and you are afraid that the stakeholders also may not like this particular so-called failure. So they may not be appreciating you, they may not be thinking you have come with a great idea. So this particular emotional risk is always there when you talk about a new idea. So that is the first you have to overcome. Get over that, take risk, there's nothing to lose. The second is try. Try a lot of things. What we do regularly every day is a habit. There's nothing like a good habit. Habit is something comes in the way of thinking new. So try a lot of things and try to do something different. The third is flip your plan from end. So there is a famous management principle: start with end in mind. Because the problem statement which you originally conceived may not be the real problem. It may be an opportunity, and the various steps you thought of may not be the best way of achieving this particular output or outcome. If when you look at it from the end, you probably will find several other ways of doing the same thing to achieve the same result. So we always say, start with the end. Fourth is solve ordinary problems. Ordinary problem solving enhances your capacity to imagine, your capacity to think beyond the normal. So you try to look at a problem definition and say, instead of saying yes but, say yes. Then whenever you read something, whenever some people propose something, you say yes. Generally we say yes, but can it be done? You require a lot of resources. Can it be done? So but is basically a full stop. And the better way is say, it's a good idea and it can be done this way and it can be done this way. So a number of ways of thinking, the ways of solving the problem is a better way of finding a solution. The fifth is grow. You have to grow in your capability to address problems. So it has to be cumulative, not moving in circles. There are several techniques on this particular thing. One of the technique famous is what we say is a scamper. S for substitute, C for combine, A for adapt, M for modification, P put to another use, E eliminate, or reverse. These are several ways of looking at the problem. A existing one, what is already in front of you, you can apply this technique, scamper, then probably will come something a different value proposition. Sixth is inspiration. Now, what really inspires you? You have to find for yourself, because the source of inspiration is different for different people. If you know what is the inspiration, what is inspiring you, then it is always acting in your subconscious mind. So it surfaces at an appropriate time. But then there should be a match between what inspires you and the problem which you are addressing. 7 is learn about the failures. Failures are the most important thing, and we should learn from the failures. Failing is not a sin. Repeating the failure for the same thing, for the same task, same activity is an unforgivable one. Explore. Continue to explore, because there is nothing like end to any exploration. As you climb a mountain, some new peak comes. Then you have to go to the new mountain, new peak. Then once you come there, you find something higher to climb. So exploration is a continuous process. Be an explorer. Think. Take time to think. Sleeping over a problem is a process, because the subconscious mind never sleeps. It is always lurking. It is always trying to find a solution to the problem. So sleep with the problem. Nothing wrong with this particular thing. 10th is asking. Now, whom do I ask for opinions? Ask random people who do not normally are associated with you. Your parents, you are in daily touch. Your teachers, you are in daily touch. Your classmates, you are in daily touch. Do you ask the opinion upon someone whom you do not know? The heterogeneous opinion makes the solution better. Maybe those people are dissidents. They do not like your idea, or they do not like you talking about the idea. That's good. They find out some negative things. They find out the reasons on how this can fail. All this is a great learning for you. So, ask without hesitation. Ask people at random. Ask random people at random times. 11. Open. Openness to ideas. Again, there is a psychological thing. You cannot see something new by looking harder in the same direction. Right? So, you dig into the same hole again and again, you cannot make it a square. It will be always round. Right? So, this is the famous creativity gurus talking about it. 12 is express. Express your ideas boldly. Why it is important is that a large number of the students, young people, are afraid of judgment by others. They feel, okay, this is a good idea, but if I talk about it, will the people like it? Will they make fun of me? Will they say this is not going to work? Will they say you just copied it? I have seen it on Google. Right? So you do not express your ideas. You keep it to yourself. Obviously, you'll never be able to work on this particular thing. And don't be disappointed if someone says this is already known. Everything in the world is known somewhere or the other. Right? There are thousands of creative people, millions of creative people. So ideation is a very parallel activity. So you don't have to worry about it. Then press. Right? Press into an idea, draw it out, share it, rework it. And then there are many tools on this particular thing today, and you can use the tools also for this ideation loops. Change. Change with excitement. Change is not a painful process. Don't think that you are changing because of certain inadequacy. No. Change with excitement is opportunity to do something new and test your capabilities in new areas. Okay. Act. Talking is not sufficient. As a matter of fact, innovation is all acting. You should act on the idea. You should make a drawing. You should make a sketch. You should make a proof of concept. You should make a minimum viable product. You should make a prototype. You should act on the idea. Talking is not innovation. Search for alternative ways. As I said, there is nothing like one best way of doing it. There are several ways, several parallel paths. You have to search and explore. Process of reaching the goal is important, and the process is generally overlooked because we spend time on the product, but on the process we take it for granted. There is only a technical process can be done in only one way. No, even the technical process can be a variable. Challenge. To raise above the normal, you have to find the people who challenge you. That's why we say the group chemistry. Work with the group who are consistently doing well, maybe doing better than you. Then you have a challenge to raise up to them, to their expectations, and to overcome. Dream. Dreams are important. Unless you dream, you will not aspire. And you will not aspire, you cannot come with any action plan. Share. Share your idea with others without any hesitation. Most of the people are afraid that if I share the idea, they will copy. You cannot stop it. They may copy, but you can always come with a better idea. Right? By not sharing, you are keeping the idea to yourself. The fear others are copying is an illusion. Draw out what the problem is and draw out the solution. Pursue innovation. Do not wait for it to come. Reach beyond your own abilities. So the successful persons are the ones who are not aware of their limitations. If you are too much aware of your limitations, then probably you will be diffident to think beyond your existing limitations. The existing limitations may simply disappear after some time. Then improve ways to improve every aspect of your life. The creativity is a continuous process. The people who are creative are tinkering people. They try to improve the quality of everything, or at least they try to tinker with everything. You cannot say that I'll keep quiet, I'll not touch anything in my house, and I'll work only in a laboratory where I do the tinkering. That doesn't generally work. Creativity is coming with imitations, betterments, improvements, discarding the tried, coming with the new one, right? So you have to do this continuous basis. Dare to challenge the accepted, right? And people create something like a challenge book. You say, what is the challenge? Then I said, once you write it down, it goes into the subconscious mind. It reflects curiosity, and curiosity is the mother of innovation. Create an environment of innovation. Make it the norms. You do it regularly, and you contribute to yourself, and you contribute to your persons who are known to you. So it's an environment. You be part of a creative environment. share ownership of innovation. I said, of course, we will be discussing more about it in the subsequent sessions, but he should be able to share your innovation. One person owning the entire innovation is an outdated concept. Right? You share the innovation, and then there is always a complementarity somewhere. Someone will add value. You have to be in the right network where people share and add value. Think of open source software. Think of open source hardware. Join them. You find hundreds and thousands of students contributing, sharing and contributing, and everyone is becoming wiser to that particular thing. So finally, I would like to say, a common misconception is that innovators are born creative, which is not true. You become creative, you unleash creativity, you become an innovator by dreaming, by continuously challenging yourself and acting. Good morning. We will talk about patents for student innovators. We will look at the basics of patenting. Patent is a right, a monopoly right given by the state so that the innovator can commercially benefit from his novel idea. And they get a period of about 20 years from the date of priority, which we will understand as the time progresses. Okay. So to get a patent, the eligibility criteria is that there are 4 conditions. First is that novelty. Second, inventive step. 3, capable of a commercial utilization application. 4th, is not part of a negative list. Let us look at these cases by taking some hypothetical idea. Let us say, as a student, you are very excited about solar energy. You understand that this energy comes free from the sun, and you have solar panels, a large number of them put together as a solar farm, and you see them in almost every country. So you try to understand what is the problem which you can solve. You discuss with the operators. One of the problems they'll tell you is that it's expensive to maintain the solar panels because they're in the open and there will be dust coming continuously and someone has to clean it. So one common method is to clean it with water. Now water is not really easily available in every way, and cleaning water with the manpower is also expensive. So people are coming with various innovations how to clean the solar panels. One of the idea is, suppose you reduce the dust coming into the solar panels by creating a barrier. Let us call it a solar wall. You create a wall on the adjacent of a solar panels so that the wind and the dust do not get into the solar panels. That way solar panels will probably remain clean and advantageous to all the people. So this is an idea. So once you get idea and you are going to explore the patenting potential, because working on an idea, taking it to the market without patenting is not very desirable. So first step is that this patent to be granted, it must be new, novelty. So new to the entire world, though patent is a state right, it's a national right. I get a patent in India, it is given by the Indian government for enforcement in India. You get a patent in Morocco, it is given by the Moroccan government for enforcement in Morocco. Someone gets a patent in USA, it is for enforcement in USA. It is governed by the national geography. But patent search has to be done globally. It is new to the entire world, though the patent is given by the local government. So this is what we say prior art. So when I want to apply for a patent, I will look into the prior art, what is known to the public at the time of my application. So here I'll make a search for the prior art, literature search and patent search on the Google. It's a free of cost. About 80% of the information you get free. So literature search is known because what is the academicians talking about? A wall construction, a barrier construction, so that the dust doesn't come onto the solar panels. Then we look at the patents also. Is a patent on a solar panel wall. Okay. Give some keywords which are indicative of your intention. Then you make a patent search, and you'll get many patents. I made a search, and I got one patent, not several patents. The first in the line of the patent is called wind break walls for solar farms. And there is other one which is called solar panel wind deflector. So I click on the patent document, is a ESPTO, and patent documents are public documents. Anyone can access them by clicking on the document. So when you click on open the document, you get information about the patent. So first there will be title, then there will be abstract, the names of the innovators, and the whom it is assigned to, and the data priority. In this case, there are two innovators, and there can be any number of innovators. So when you are working on the idea, you can name yourself and your other teammates as innovators. When you are submitting a paper, then the first person name is more important. But in a patent, all are equally important. So you can give the names of the innovators, there is no limit. 3, 4, 5 is very common. And then you will be seeing in the same patent document something called assigned to. That means the innovators are assigning the commercial right of exploitation to someone. In this case, it is a university. Most of the cases where the students are working, students are and the researchers, faculty are in a university, they are bound to assign the patent to the university. Similarly, if you are working with an employer, then you are bound to assign it to the employer. There are variations in this particular thing, but that is the general rule book. Right? So you assign to the university, that means the university will take it over the commercial exploitation. And then depending on the university's policy, they may give you some benefits as and when they get some money from out of the licensing. Right? So you have the title of the project, abstract of innovation, innovators' names, assignee names, and data priority. That is very important. Data priority, the date when the patent application was submitted to the local authorities. So if I submit the application today, then today is the data priority for me. So my legal rights are with me for another 20 years, provided my patent is accepted. And this is important because anyone coming with the same idea after me will not be getting a patent. So data priority is protecting your rights from the day you apply for a patent application. So you have got a patent document ready, so you know what to write. So you have go to the subject matter of the patent. The subject matter of the patent is you are going to cover the entire theory, the literature part of it, saying that this is how, this is a problem, this problem is solved by erecting a wall, and all this particular thing. And then you will also refer to the patents which are closest to your intended idea. Okay, in this particular case, you refer to a patent. This is a US patent, which is also talking about a wind deflector, right? So you also refer to other patents which are also on a similar line. So every patent will cite about many other patents which are in the similar line. So you are nearly getting ready with your patent documentation. What else is required? You have to go to the next step, saying that a patent to be eligible, there should be novelty, it is new. Okay, let us say this particular solar wind arrestor or the dust arrestor, whatever you call it, is new. Because it's not very commonly available. You do not find very similar thing in the literature also or in the patent search. So you get to the point saying that, okay, what is the inventive step? Inventive step is that anyone, the one who has got a patent, suppose if there is a patent which is talking about a wind arrestor, now we are talking about something very similar, then the question comes, is it obvious to you and obvious to the other persons who have applied for the original patent? So you have to say this is not obvious, there is an inventive step. So let us say the inventive step is that the existing patent is a wind deflector, it is a rigid construction, and since it is a rigid construction, it is continuously moving, and which is not good for the foundation. So inventive steps is finding the shortcomings of the existing patent. So you say this is the shortcoming of the existing patent, it is a rigid foundation, so continuously vibrating. So whereas I am getting a fence, a wall, which is not having a rigid foundation, which will be swaying along with the wind. That's how the bridges are constructed. Right? They sway, they are not rigid. So the structural strength is better. Okay. Now you have got inventive step. That is, you are saying the limitation of the existing patent have been overcome by me in my patent application. Okay. So that is how the inventive step is there. Then inventive step also you have to say, what did you work on this particular thing? So you cannot say I thought of it, it's just an idea. No, it has to be invention. So naturally you have to work on a CAD design, and you have to work on a simulation packages. It is not required for you to come with a completely commercial product. That's not required. But you need to know what you are talking, what you are communicating, how it is manufactured, how it is used, right? All this you can do it without physically manufacturing the product. So once you know how to manufacture this product, how to use this product, then you are ready with defining the inventive step. From out of the inventive step flow the claims. The patent document will have a claim. The claim is really what is protected. The title is not protected, abstract is not protected, the idea is not protected, the claims are the one which are protected. So you are going to draw claims, first claim, second claim, third claim, fourth claim, like that only. So these are the claims that are protected. So obviously you have to draw the claim very carefully, specifically saying that my claim is that my innovation will have a structural stability, at the same time a structural longevity, because it is constructed so and so material. So for each case you have to discuss, you have to deliberate upon, and then draw out the claims. Claims are the heart of a patent document. It is the claims that are protected. So you have to draw out the claims and then put into the patent application. Right? So first condition is met. There is an idea, and you have made a patent search. Such a idea is not existing, and it's not obvious. So you have got inventive step. It is different from the existing patents, and you have overcome the limitations of the existing patents. Okay, and you have done something in the direction to prove it works. Okay, as I said, it's not a final commercial product, but you have done something like a CAD designs, simulation, everything like that, a prototype. Yeah. Okay, now the third condition is that it is not theoretical one, it is something which is having industrial application. Obviously, this type of wind breakers have got industrial application, so this fits the third criteria. But the fourth is that every nation has a negative list of items which cannot be patented. Generally, discoveries cannot be patented, and then depending on the country to country, several things cannot be patented. Okay, and this is not part of the negative list. So you are meeting all the four conditions, and then you can go and apply for a patent. So when you apply for a patent with all the specifications, it is called a patent document with the complete specifications. But sometimes you want to protect your data priority. You are not 100% ready with your claims. Still you want to protect because there is a race. Someone else is working on the same subject. You want to beat him in the race. So you submit an application. What we say is a provisional application for a patent document. So the data priority of the provisional application also holds true. And then after that you get about 12 months to submit a complete specifications. So the 12 months is the time for you to work on the claims. So you got a application, you got a priority date, and you are going ahead and making application in your country. Now the botheration is that if you apply in your country and you do not apply in other countries, suppose if you apply in Morocco, you do not apply in India or China and USA, they can copy the one because it is a free, it is a prior art to the places where it is not protected. So obviously to make money, to get revenue, you would like to protect in as many big countries as possible. So you want to protect in USA, Europe, Japan, China, India, etc. So that is possible with the first application you are making in your own country. You have to make what is called a PCT application. The PCT application, when you submit it, you notify the countries where you want to subsequently apply for a patent. Right? So in the patent document, in the PCT application, you would say, I would like to apply for a national patent application in USA, China, India. Okay. Then you get the data priority in those countries as per your original patent application in your country. And you get under 2 to 3 years time in those countries to take a decision to apply for a national phase or not to apply for a national phase. If you decide to apply for a national phase, you have to submit the patent application as per the particular country's legal requirement and pay the money as per the local requirement. If you don't want to apply, then the option is lost, but nothing else is lost. Right? So you have got an opportunity to protect your patent in your country and also in many other countries. There is nothing like an international patent. This is a PCT application with a provision to apply for a patent in several countries. Now finally we will come to the biggest concern of all the people. The patent, when you submit the patent application, many countries have different policies of publishing it, but generally, like in India, it takes about 18 months to publish the patent document. In some countries, it may be early also. Right? So you are worried because some people may copy your idea, steal the idea. How will you really say this is my day, priority date? Priority date will be known only after the patent is published. Right? So, and a lot of work you are doing. Inventive step is research work. The work you are doing is also not really known. You will have to run a big legal battle. So WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, has come out with a scheme called WIPO Proof. It's a digital locker. It's a free of cost. When you have an idea, when you are doing something significant and you want to protect it, then all you have to do is go to the site, then send it as a file. They will register it and they will give you a token. So it's a locker and you put your document in a locker. So tomorrow if there is any dispute about whether you are the first person or before you someone has thought of it, you have some proof to talk about it. So that takes away the fear of stealing of your idea. Right? I think these are the very early things and the basic things of patenting and Patenting is a very complicated subject. We will get into more details in the subsequent sessions. So thank you for listening.